Hello friends, I hope you've been doing well. In today's video we are going to be making sheep tallow. We will be making soft tallow and hard tallow, but as the video is playing and progressing I will explain the difference so you can see. So we're going to start the video off with the hard tallow. Now the hard tallow is what they also call the suet. And that comes from the kidneys of the animal and the inside of the body cavity. It's rather quite amazing when you butcher the animal and you take out the intestines to see how protected the kidneys are by the large amount of fat. It just comes to show you how important the kidneys in your body really is. So the hard tallow, as you can see in this video while we're grinding it, is pretty crumbly. Now given it's way easier to grind tallow when it's frozen, which is also part of why it actually is so crumbly, but by nature it just actually is crumbly. And you will see later in the video when we do the soft tallow, it's also being ground from a frozen state and it's got a whole different texture to it. Now why do we freeze it before we grind it? It is way easier to work with coming out of the freezer. Why do we grind it? Because rendering tallow does much better. You get a quicker, easier and better result when the tallow is ground. I mean, you can cut it up into little pieces, but this is just so much easier and way lesser time consuming. And the results you get are much better. Now you can see we are putting this in the oven to render. Now again, there are many ways to render tallow. You can render it outside in a large stock pot on the fire or in a gas stove. Some people render it in a slow cooker. You can do it any way you like, as long as it gets a consistent amount of heat for a long period of time. We are still rendering hard fat here. We want to finish off what we have left, but the container that went into the oven was full, so we're just putting this here in a container so that we can just get that into another container to render later on. So you can see the frozen tallow that we're putting in are cut into little blocks. So we do our own butchering and our own processing. And when we process, or at the time we process the animal, we will cut the tallow into small little blocks. And for this reason, now to come and grind it up later, it makes our lives considerably easier. And it breaks apart pretty easy too when it's frozen. Now, let me tell you some of the things that hard tallow works well for. Hard tallow works really well for making soap, because when you make soap you need something that is hard and long lasting, otherwise your soap isn't going to last very long. It also actually works well for making candles and firm balms, like the balms that they make with the candle, not the candle wax, the beeswax and so on. Mixing this with the hard tallow works really well. And apparently Hard tallow also works well for traditional baking. Oh, there is Luna. She's sad because nothing has fallen on the floor yet, and so is Darling. Darling is also sad because nothing has fallen on the floor yet. Yes, but she's still hopeful. Now you will see here. Do you see the difference in the texture? We are now on the soft tallow. Look at the difference. It's way more stringy. It's not crumbly. Oh, oh, Darling is hopeful. See, Darling is sitting there. She's hopeful. Now you can start to see what the fat is looking like while it's rendering, and yeah, it's coming on. It's coming along. You'll see later on what it looks like. But look at the difference in texture. This is stringy, it's soft, it's not crumbly. This is the soft tallow. Now the soft tallow is the fat that's under the skin and around the muscle of the animal. So when you butcher, this will be the off-cut fat. Now, for some reason, it seems many people don't choose to use this fat. I don't know why. This fat is amazing to use. It has so many functions, and there's a ton of it on an animal. Look at that beautiful rendering fat. The soft tallow has now gone into render as well. Oh, look at that cooking. That's beautiful. Coming along beautifully. So soft tallow, if you want to use it, actually works really well for whipped balms and things because it is a softer, more liquidy tallow. But for us personally, we use the soft tallow to cook with. It is amazing to cook with, and it is amazing to bake with. But I will show you at the end of the video the difference in texture after we have now processed it and bottled it. You can see we just quickly took it out. We just had a look at that, see how it's coming along. Look at the pieces like shrinking away, and all the wonderful fat being extracted from it. It's so easy to render fat, really. It is. It's such an easy thing to do. You just need the time. And of course, when you bottle it up, just make sure that your bottles are clean and properly sanitized. As you saw, we put ours in the oven. After, of course, it's washed and clean, but we put ours in the oven because it's a great way to sanitize it and warm it up because this fat is very hot and you cannot pour this into a room temperature or a cold bottle. Um, it will break. So yeah, we sanitize ours in the oven. Luckily, luckily this fat is so warm that when you bottle it up, you do not have to can it at all. You don't have to pressure can it, water based can it. You put the fat into the bottles that's been heated up and sanitized and sterilized, and you let it cool off, and the bottles will seal up themselves, and this can sit on the shelf for months and years. Now, you know what the nice thing is? Now you can see we're starting to dish out this fat and putting it in the container. We don't throw this away. We keep it because we either give it to the dogs, but we actually really give it to our chickens. Our chickens love this discard um, deep fried fat. They love it. And it's really healthy for them too. You know, chickens actually do need a lot of protein in their diet. They truly are little mini dinosaurs. This is really good for them. It's so satisfying to watch this. Some tallow ASMR for you. Oh, look Look at those bubbles. This fat is hot. If you put your finger in there, you are going to lose your skin. I believe this is the hard tallow that we're extracting here or processing here that went into the oven first. Alrighty then. So we have taken the bottles out of the oven and now we are starting to bottle up this fat. We are using, what do you call the thing? A funnel. We're using a funnel and a strainer, and inside the strainer we're putting cheesecloth. And you can see, because of course you can't fish out all the hard bits. So the cheesecloth in the strainer does a really good job of catching up the last little bits of hard, deep fried fat bits that we couldn't get out. But just be very careful when you bottle up this fat, because like I said, it is warm. You just have to make sure that your focus is on, that you're not distracted and accidentally burn yourself. My husband is working inside a plate. It helps to catch up a lot of the mess because this is a messy, messy job. Look at that beautiful yellow color. That is beautiful. Oh, and that's another thing I should mention. The soft fat, the soft tallow that's under the skin. When you process it, you will see it naturally has a bit more of a yellow tint to it. So I think, remembering back now for the kind of bottles we used, this is actually the soft tallow that Chris is busy canning or bottling up here. Look at that yellow tint. That is normal and that is healthy fat. The hard fat will be more white. Look at that. Those are all our bottles of soft tallow. And here comes the hard tallow that we already did. I think it started cooling off a little bit already by now, the hard tallow. But yeah, you can see the color difference, the yellow versus the white. That's just beautiful. It's all cooled down now. You can still see it. The color difference is very slight now, but it's there. I want to show you the difference between the two tallows after they have now been processed and bottled and cooled down. This one here is the hard tallow. You can kind of see this one has already been used. Like it kind of crumbles up a little bit. It's solid. This one has not been opened yet. And I'm going to open it and I'm going to scoop some of it out. In fact, I'm going to scoop out of both of these and put it on the plate. And I believe you'll be able to see the difference. Let's start with the hard tallow. You can see it's hard, it's solid, it crumbles up as you take it out. Now, let's take out some of the soft tallow. Oopsie. This is going to be creamy. Look at that. It's soft, it's creamy. This batch that we made actually came out slightly creamier than normal. Most of the time it is almost a little bit more liquidy. You can even see it sticks to my finger. So you can even see the hard tallow, it crumbles. Obviously when it gets hot, it will melt again. This is normally when you watch videos about soap making or any tallow products. In most cases what they use is the hard tallow. But you hardly ever see anyone ever saying anything about soft tallow. Here's the soft tallow. Look at this. Look at the difference. Very creamy. Now, both of these work really well for cooking. But the soft tallow works exceptionally well for baking. So whenever you bake anything, you can replace your butter with the tallow. Or if something requires that you put vegetable oil or something in it, rather put your soft tallow in it. And you can't even believe the difference in texture and taste. It truly makes a big difference. And let me just add, you cannot get any healthier than rendering your own fat, than having your own homemade tallow. There's no preservatives in here, nothing. It is literally clean fat. You can't get healthier than this. Well, friends, that is it for this video. I hope you found it interesting. Please note that I'm not an educator. I am merely sharing with you how we do things on our homestead. And in hopes by sharing what we are doing, that maybe it might be helpful to one of you. Until next time, I hope you are blessed. Bye-bye.